Today we're going to be chatting about the 250 box challenge on the free online drawing course, Draw a Box. Hi and welcome back. If you're new here, hello, I'm Jenny and I'm trying to level up on my art skills at the moment. If you haven't seen the first episode of this series, I talk about what is Draw a Box, how I did, along with the critique feedback. I'll link the video in the corner and in the description box below. If you do like this type of content and want to follow my art journey, do give this video a like and subscribe. Just a little note on my first episode, Uncomfortable actually saw the video and noticed that I was picking up a lot more mistakes than the critique, and that's because the critiques mark up to a certain standard just to get started. Just like the last episode, pause the video to read the highlighted feedback. Now, here's my experience with the 250 box challenge along with the official feedback. So day one, this is my first sheet of boxes. I tried to do 6, but the proportions are clearly incorrect over here. You know those illusion art where you can see things differently? You look at a picture, you see something, and then you blink an eye and you see something else? Well, these panels are very confusing. And it's clear that my boxes are diverging and my lines aren't confident at all. Also, I feel like I'm struggling with my line weight. I've tried to go over it twice, 3 times. It doesn't seem to be aligning properly. The critique actually noticed that I struggled this and pointed out that I should be taking time to ghost those lines. Maximum 1 to 2 phases and only on the silhouettes. So I tried it again. I don't feel like I know how to improve. So I decided to actually take time to restudy the boxes and keep the free vanishing points in one page just to see how the boxes react. And I do this with a ruler. I have a better understanding. Let's give this another go. This box actually took me 10 minutes just to draw without any of the correction analysis. And I did take my time because I really wanted to understand and absorb and try and do it correctly instead of rushing over it. By doing this, it has really helped me understand, and this is definitely already a lot better than this. I understand where I need to take more notice and attention in the next couple of rounds. So with this in mind, I'm going to aim for 6 boxes per sheet and 3 sheets per day. I mean, I'm not going to be really strict on myself, but I feel like it's really nice to have a goal to try and get a project finished. However, saying that, I am very flexible. I will not grind the exercises. The last thing I want is to be put off with the course, and be aware if I'm tired, I'm going to stop. I realized after doing this exercise, I have been doing it in the wrong order. I should have drawn all of the boxes first and then go back to have a look at the color guides per page. So it still has helped me. I look into it a little bit more in detail that way as well. So it's been about an hour and 45 minutes creating 12 boxes. My brain is kind of fried from it, but I have really enjoyed it because I feel like I have learnt. So the critique has actually come back to say that I'm making improvements on my mark making, straight lines and confidence throughout this challenge. Right, today I have done 3 more pages. After my warm-up, I find the first page is always a little bit rusty. I have started to use the Eric Nars Y generator. We can actually use this up to 100 boxes. And then I feel a little bit more confident on the second page. I still find I'm making little mistakes here and there. For example, like this hatch line, it's supposed to be diagonal and not horizontal. Also, I'm not actually sure whether we're supposed to be using a ruler to create these hatch lines or freehand them. And then on the third page, I feel a little bit more confident in what I'm actually looking for. When I am making these corrections, I do find it helpful to focus on one direction at a time. And I dedicate one color for one direction and kind of base it on the Y that we originally created the box from. Point 3, they noticed that I'm doing a better job at getting my parallel lines converging to the same vanishing points. Woohoo! 237 more to go. Okay. I'm taking around 8 minutes to draw a box and around 20 minutes to do my correction analysis with the different colored pens. I'm definitely noticing that I'm pressing a lot lighter, which helps with the line weights. So another thing that I've been doing differently today is to not use my finger to point out the vanishing points and try to imagine it. When I get onto my third page, I know it's time for me to just stop now and not to grind because I get so exhausted with it. Okay, so it's the evening of the same day and I tried to put out one more sheet, which I did enjoy, but I noticed I'm not very good at the Y shapes that looks like a T when the top is very, very flat. So I probably will give these a go in the next couple of days. Oakley dokley. So 3 more pages today. I definitely feel more confident and found that by focusing and estimating the box line points based on one Y direction at a time, very useful. So I hope this makes sense. The Y has 3 directions, 3 lines, and I would rotate one line and work on that direction for all of the points, one at a time, and then kind of summarize it in the end. It's definitely a tool that I find helpful, but we're gonna have to see what the critique says. And one of the things that were pointed out is that some of my boxes had infinite vanishing point. Maybe it's because I was trying to perfect the boxes and I overlooked the lines not converging. But I did ask them to send me some examples and this is what I got back.
So this is the page that the critique is talking about, and it turns out the boxes that I thought had a good shallow foreshortening turns out to be either diverging or have near parallel lines from their shared vanish points. Of course, I did not intend for this to happen and will take note for future exercises.
So this morning I managed to do 3 more pages of these boxes and I'm happy to report that I can start listening to podcasts whilst doing these exercises. I guess it's becoming second nature and there are less mistakes and I'm able to see my mistakes straight away, which definitely makes such a difference when I try to first draw the boxes. I definitely feel less exhausted after the 3rd page. It's taken me 2.5 hours to do 3 pages compared to the 1 hour a page in the beginning. Right, so yesterday I mentioned that I can listen to podcasts whilst drawing these boxes. Well, I clearly couldn't talk to friends and draw at the same time. I didn't film this, but it took me 3 hours to do 3 boxes. So clearly I still need my concentration and draw these boxes in solitude. And then basically I left it there. It's the next day and I have decided to complete the sheet with 3 more boxes. I'm definitely finding these practices much easier to do in the morning so that they're out of the way and I don't need to think about it towards the evening. And I managed to do 4 more, which means that we have hit our 100th box. Yay! I stopped using the Y generator from Eric Nah and it took a little bit of getting used to. I can tell that my T shapes are getting a little bit better. So these 4.5 pages took me 3 hours to do in total. Another thing that I do is I take the photos before I actually folder them in. It's just easier in terms of doing it every day as opposed to taking it all out, putting it all in by numbers. So this is the last day of my 250 draw a box challenge. I decided to just go for it and see how many I can do. I was willing to split it into 2 days, but I got to the end and I was like, right, no, let's just sort this out now because I've had enough of boxes. This is the first page. Surprisingly, my first one actually went very well today. The rest, it was, yeah, okay. It was okay, you know. I felt like, you know, I had the energy, I was fine. And then we kind of keep on moving on. This is where some of the mistakes started to happen, and also just try to kind of get my head around some dramatic foreshortening. Kind of like give it a go over here. You can see that it just falls into pieces, basically. Or am I just being too harsh on myself? I don't know. I've actually tried to kind of put some dots nearby so I've got some visual reference, but I just can't seem to get the lines correct. So normally I would actually stop about like 3rd page, but I was raring to go today. So we continued. Thought I'd give myself a break and then go back into the dramatic foreshortening. Didn't work well, but this one, check that out. There could be mistakes, I don't know. The critique has mentioned that my box sizes were looking good and that I showed a variety of orientations and foreshortenings. I did mention about my problem with guesstimating the dramatic foreshortening.
Their reply is that they don't have any more tips for me besides going back to the instructions, but looking at my dramatic and shallow foreshortening, it seems like I'm doing okay.
So if you have any tips for me, or if you're struggling with this point as well, please do let me know. So I literally just finished 249. We are indeed on the last one. I have to tell you, I am so ready to move on. Instead of just putting a dot, I actually find it easier to kind of do like a little tick or a dash just to show where the direction of the dots are referring to. In total, I think I spent about 12 days on this project, 3 hours a day. I was very happy that this was finished, done and dusted. You can see me over here completing the task and saying woohoo. But when I started to upload the images online, I realized, wait a minute, there's 41 pages, times that by 6 is 246, plus this odd one is 247. So where are the other 3 boxes? So I had a look back and then I realized I skipped a couple. So we're not going to let that phase us, and then I decided to draw 3 more. Again, one with the dramatic foreshortening, that didn't go well, and then the other ones were just more of a bog standard shadow box. But now I can say officially it's ended, unless the critique comes back and say no, we want you to do 50 or 100 more boxes. Please don't tell me to do any more. I really just want to move on. It's actually taken me a lot longer than expected. There's been days where I had to skip some. We can only do what we can do, and I didn't want to grind it, and that's it. I'm so happy that we have finished it. Oh my god, these are so frustrating. By the way, I also started some art streams on Twitch where I do these homework live. So if you want to hang out there, I'll leave the link below. I hope you enjoyed that review. If you're also doing the course, do get in contact. Let me know how you're feeling about it. Where are you up to? For now, thank you for watching. Take care, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.